Welcome to another beautiful day here in the village. The sun is out, but there is also a soft cloud cover hanging around, the kind that comes after rain and leaves everything feeling fresh and calm. I don't know what it is, but the air just feels different, like the land itself is resting. What I have come to appreciate most about this place is how every day has its own gentle flow. Whether it's the occasional mowing from a neighbor's cow or just the peace that comes after a night of rain, it all brings a sense of calm that's hard to put in words. Hi, my name is Soino. I tell stories of my life through videos of cooking, farming, and homesteading in general. If you're new to this channel, kindly click the subscribe button for more amazing videos. My husband and I had stepped out to run a few errands, and by the time we got back, the fundi is already on it, picking up right where they left off yesterday. They hadn't finished clearing everything in the entrance and living room area, so that's where the work picked up today. When we started getting the floor levels right for the whole house, we decided to start from the very back, specifically the bedrooms, then work our way forward. In a previous video, you've seen some rooms already filled with stones and compacted with marram, and that really helped guide us. Since our land is on a slope, it only made sense to check the levels from the back of the house coming towards the front. Once we got the two bedrooms leveled and compacted, they kind of gave us a good reference point for the rest of the house. By the time we reached the corridor and living room, we were already working with a consistent height. At this point, they were just finishing on that soil on the entrance area so that they can start pouring stones in the living room floor and then continue all the way to that same spot they were digging. I have seen quite a few people asking why we use stones on the floor and whether we use them in the walls too. So let me break it down. We only use stones on the floor to help with compaction and to create a strong, stable base before laying soil or marram on top. The stones prevent the floor from shifting or sinking over time, especially when the house starts getting used more often. But for the walls, we didn't use stones at all. That's because stones don't bond well with the mud mixture. Our wall mix is made up of just soil, water, and rice straw for the first coat, and then water and soil for the second coat. The reason we avoid using stones in the walls is that they don't expand, contract, or dry the same way as mud does. Mud walls need flexibility. The materials are supposed to move and settle together as one. Stones are rigid and heavy, so they can actually create cracks where the mud and stone separate, which weakens the whole structure. Over time, this can even cause parts of the wall to collapse, especially if the stones shift or create too much pressure in one area. So to keep the wall strong and intact, we stick to the materials that work well together naturally. Now, we are actually preparing for the third coat, and I'm excited to share that journey with you soon. This also brings up a really good question. What kind of floor do you think will suit this house best? I've thought about a few options that will keep the natural charm of a mud house intact. Wooden flooring is one of them, especially woods like mvule or cypress, which are more affordable than mahogany but still age beautifully over time. Some hardwoods develop that lovely rich deep brown tone as they age, and that warmth can really complement the raw texture of the mud walls. I also really love the idea of Mazera stone flooring. It comes in such beautiful colors: grays, creams, warm rust tones, and when you mix those up well, the floor ends up looking artistic without trying too hard. Mazeras is also very durable, cool to the feet, and gives a grounded feeling that matches the soul of this home. There are also other options that work really well for a mud house, things like stained cement floors, which are relatively affordable and can be sold for a smooth, polished finish, while still giving you that rustic touch. Earthen floors, basically a mix of clay, sand, and sometimes a bit of natural sealant like linseed oil, are also a beautiful, sustainable option. They stay true to the aesthetic of a madhouse and feel warm and grounding underfoot. Then there's brick flooring, which I've also seen used in similar traditional homes. It gives a vintage look, holds up well with time, and adds texture. All these floors have one thing in common: they work with the house. They allow for some flexibility, can be sealed against moisture, and bring out the raw beauty of the mud walls rather than fighting it. But of course, I'd love to hear from you. What floor would you go for in this house and why? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. I also jumped in to help with collecting the stones. I mean, like I always do, how could I just stand there and watch? It feels really good to being part of the process. And this reminds me, someone left a comment that really stayed with me. They said, I have never met or seen a proud hardworking Gen Z who is proud of a madhouse like Kyusu. You're a gem. Keep winning. And it made me smile so much because it reminded me why I share these little moments with you. I've come to truly believe that pride isn't how much something looks, but in how much heart you pour into it. And if this madhouse, built with love, patience, and a whole lot of learning, inspires even one person to feel seen or curious, then to me, that's already a win. What do you think? Will you ever build a madhouse too? Or just something different, something that people are not doing? I have come across so many beautiful houses online, homes you don't see every day. Sometimes you look at a build and think, how did someone even come up with that idea? The way they mix materials, the little details they add, it's just so creative. And the same goes to traditional homes or houses that haven't been built with conventional materials like stone. Some of them are absolutely stunning. It just shows how creative people can be. I get genuinely excited when I come across such unique builds, and what inspires me even more is seeing young people creating beautiful homes in their own way. It's such a powerful thing. As the stones were being poured and spread in the living room, one of the guys had already moved to the kitchen area to start clearing out the soil and pouring it outside, basically preparing the space for proper leveling. Now, earlier when I was explaining how we are doing the floor levels for the entire house, I forgot to mention something important, and that's the drainage from the kitchen. You know how in most houses, especially when you're mopping or cleaning, water tends to find a certain direction to flow? It's not by accident, it's because of how the floor was leveled. That's something we really wanted to think through early enough. So when we started taking levels for the entire house, we made sure the slope gently moves from the bedrooms through the corridor and living area and finally finishes in the kitchen. The idea was to make the kitchen, specifically the kitchen door that leads outside, the final exit point. So we gave that area a slight slope, just enough to guide any water that spills or is used during cleaning to flow out naturally. This isn't something unique to us. It's just one of those small, thoughtful touches that can make a big difference over time. It helps keep water from pooling in unwanted areas, protects the flow, and just makes daily cleaning a lot easier. And this is pretty much where we are now. The house is already starting to take shape. You can see how the floors are coming together, the walls have transformed beautifully, and the roof is already up. If you're just joining us, karibu sana to this small but growing community of ours. We have been documenting every step of this village build, and it's been such a beautiful journey so far. If you're curious to see how we started, right from the first pole in the ground to where we are now, I have put everything together in a playlist. I'll leave a link card so you can catch up and maybe even binge watch the full story. And to everyone who's been here with us, thank you so much for your continued support. It really means a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more amazing videos. We love to have you here as part of this journey. At this point, our main focus is to get the entire floor fully level before we move on to the next phase. Once that's done, I think the next big step will be starting on the septic tank. If you've been following along, you might remember that you already marked out the spot where we want it to be dug. So as we prepare for that, please feel free to share any tips or safety measures we should keep in mind when it comes to digging a septic tank. What should we do to make the process easier or more efficient? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We always appreciate learning from you. For now, that's it for today. Same place, same dream, just one step closer. Bye. We shall try again tomorrow.